equipment. And it's more than baseball, softball, and golf. They also have equipment for disc golf, fitness, hockey, and more. Plus, they're always buying products. Bring your gear you're done with and get trade money on the spot. Play it against sports at 48th and Vine.
Start your Sundays off right with Jeff and Nicole Essink on Fitness Fanatics. Jeff and Nicole discuss health and wellness, how to achieve fitness goals, and more through the life of gym owners and gym goers. It's Fitness Fanatics from 9 to 11 a.m. on Sundays on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Golfing in 72 degrees and perfect conditions in Nebraska doesn't seem possible in the winter, but it is. Double Eagle Golf is your escape from the bone-chilling cold outside and a reason to keep the clubs out year-round. Book a bay with some friends for a weekend or come by for golf and happy hour on a weekday. Spring leagues begin in February. Get signed up today. That's all at Double Eagle Golf inside the Kinetic Sports Complex on West O Street, online at doubleeagle.golf.
With UBT, you've got total control over your money. Like Doug, who runs his game day tailgate like a well-oiled machine.
I got burgers, brats, chicken, dogs, plus all the fixins. And with the UBT Go app, I can track my food spending from anywhere.
Pro move.
They don't call me Grill Sergeant for nothing.
No matter your goals, UBT helps you feel good about reaching them. Union Bank and Trust. Member FDIC.
Most resolutions for the new year fail before January is even over. Why not resolve to just be a little bit cleaner in 2026? Nebraska Auto Detail is here for you. Now through March 30th, if you purchase a ceramic coating, you'll get a free interior detail. There's no better way to start your year than taking care of your car and decluttering the mess that it becomes so easily. Book your detail today at NebraskaAutoDetail.com or call Joe and the team at 402-601-5086.
93.7 The Ticket Sports News go now.
This is Nick Whyman with your sports update. Nebraska women's basketball traveled to Ann Arbor to battle number 8 Michigan tonight. The Cornhuskers dropped the game to the Wolverines by a score of 88-76. Britt Prince and Amaya Hargrove led the Cornhuskers offense with 16 points each in the loss to Michigan. Nebraska falls to 16-7 overall on the 2025-2026 season and returns home on Saturday, February 7th, as the Cornhuskers host 22 Maryland with tip-off set for 1 p.m. on the Big Ten Network. For the second straight year, Nebraska volleyball will play a match at Pinnacle Bank Arena. The Huskers, coming off an Elite Eight run before losing to eventual national champion Texas A&M, will host Creighton at Pinnacle Bank Arena this fall. Nebraska head coach Danny Busman-Kelly announced the news during an interview on Wednesday. The date and time for this match between the Cornhuskers and the Blue Jays at Pinnacle Bank Arena will be announced at a later date. With the NBA trade deadline approaching, the Dallas Mavericks have agreed to trade 10-time All-Star Anthony Davis to the Washington Wizards in an 8-player blockbuster trade. The Mavericks will send Davis and guards Jaden Hardy, D'Angelo Russell, and Dante Exum to the Wizards for Chris Middleton, A.J. Johnson, Malachi Branham, Marvin Bagley III, along with 2 first-round picks and 3 second-rounders. And for all the latest sports news and updates, keep it tuned right here at 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
It's been a busy day in sports. A lot has happened while you were up to your eyeballs in work. Catch up on what went down in Nebraska athletics, college sports, and your favorite pro sports leagues. This is Late Night in Lincoln live on 93.7 The Ticket. Sponsored by Canopy Street Market. Here is your host, Nick Whyman.
Hey. It is a Wednesday night, February 4th, here on 93.7 Ticket. Nick Whyman, Late Night in Lincoln, alongside with Harrison Arns.
18 hours a day.
I am wearing the Nebraska whiteout today, it looks like. I look like I just came from that game, essentially, with this Adidas hoodie. But yes, 18 hours a day. You got it out of the way 15 seconds into the show. So 18 hours a day, The Ticket, 93.7 The Ticket, or at theticketfm.com. If you're watching on Facebook, X, YouTube, or on Allo Channel 961. We'd love to include you with the show. Before we get into a lot of topics from today, NBA trade deadline, Nebraska women's basketball played top 10 game against Michigan out in Ann Arbor. Nebraska football, obviously, there's some news around their coaching staff. Nebraska softball kicking into high gear this weekend out in Texas. Really big games they're playing. One of the marquee games of the weekend out there. Super Bowl, what to watch for as that really quickly approaches. I cannot believe we're already here. And the Olympics began, and there was a power outage at the start. The first.
I was wondering if that was going to come up.
That is coming up later in hour number 2, and that is
tough
look, but it can only go up from here is the way to look at it. But before we start, Today was National Girls and Women's Sports in Sports Day. And just to give a shout out to not only those across the nation that are participating in that, but just here at our 93.7 The Ticket family, there are, did you say 18 shows?
18 shows.
18 shows. I mean, I wrote a couple of them down. There are so many of them. And it's not like they're just here to, be here, but they host the shows. They are the ones that drive the shows and are there to participate throughout the week, whether it be for an hour a week, whether it be for a couple of shows a week. And they are committed to it. And they, I've quickly, I've been a part of Mondays with Desiree and Haley, the bowlers on Beyond the Lanes. And they're driving the bus. I'm just here for the ride. And it's an awesome thing to see that they have that much representation across our station.
Yeah, and like I said with Raph, like it's not like the goal was to be like we want to have the most women, we want to have this, thing to flex. Like we just open up the doors. And if you want to if you're a student athlete and you want to do a radio show, you have to be vetted, right? Like we got to make sure you're up to the task and you're committed to actually doing it. But if you're committed, like that's pretty much it. And then we'll work with you and we'll find a time slot to make things work. But it's been really cool. I know this is your first year here, but this thing started off at the old station. Started off with like one show, a couple student athlete shows, then we're 3, and it's like now we have 18 just women shows alone.
Yeah,
which is unreal.
I wrote down a couple of them. You have Arden McKenzie, Big Red Birdies. You have Ashley Mitchell. She'll be here. She's here every Thursday. Emma Spence also on Thursdays. Haley and Desiree, as I mentioned earlier, another 2 bowlers. Jill and Kayla were just here earlier today. Rayleigh Coe, one of the newest shows for Nebraska tennis. She's been doing a couple. I think it'll be our 4th show coming up this Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
Business Builders with Rebecca. They're on there, and Walk the Herd. That's another one too, where they drive the show. So that's just a handful of them.
Yeah. What's next? 24. You got Sherry on there. Mandy Munson did the volleyball postgame show.
Fitness Fanatics. They're also in there too.
Nicole. I mean, there's a lot,
and there's so many of them, and they're they take the time out of their days to put that together and be able to have those 18 hours of content each and every day here at the station. And can't say more about good things about every single individual that we named. They are part of the reason none of this is possible without them. If you take away half that, those 18 hours are not possible. It's physically just not possible for guys like you and me and everybody else here at the station.
Yeah, it's cool. I mean, shout out to the student athletes that made it a thing now to do. Like we've had enough student athletes in here where now enough people know, like 93.7 The Ticket, like, oh yeah, those people.
And
we do the radio shows.
And weeknights, they do a lot of the weeknights, basically all of it. And
yeah, pretty much all of it.
And those student athletes, they have lives outside of that hour. They have classes, they have homework to get done, they have practice.
Desiree, I don't know if you talked to her schedule yet, but her schedule is just unreal. Like as a bowler, so you're typically leaving Wednesday, and then you're gone Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So figure out that with school. Good luck.
And testing. We talked about the testing center and how you have weekends where you're competing Friday, Saturday, Sunday. You have practice, and then you have to somehow squeeze in if you have a test that comes up or a couple of tests that come up in a week. Because I remember when I was in college, it was, but I wasn't a student athlete, so I could be like, oh, I want to take this test, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. For them, it's like they have to somehow maybe take 2 a day, and be able to plan that around, and also include those. They have the hour they have here at the station where they, that's an hour out of studying or something like that, or an hour out of
just a break.
Exactly.
Because going back to Desiree and a lot of these student athletes, not all student athletes make a ton of money, right? So, she'll do that, and then she'll do her schoolwork, and then you still have lifts, and then you still have practice when you're not competing, and then I have to get a job so I can pay rent and like feed myself and do all the other things. Now, obviously, being on scholarship helps, but you don't want to use all that money. You're going to need something to eat and to go do things outside. So yeah, like you said, I appreciate the hour or the 2 hours that these people commit, because I know their schedules are crazy.
Exactly. And sometimes like on a Monday night at 8:00, they are in here and they're here ready to go. And they are ready to have discussions about Husker athletics in general and just what their life in general. And I have the Mondays with Desiree and Haley, and I've truly appreciated what they have brought to the table. We've had some really good Mount Rushmores. Earlier you had the clipboards out, the bill to write them down. It's awesome, and they are able to just kind of float that idea out there just to make it easier for not only us being the judges at times, but also to let them drive the ship, and they are able to put on great content, and it's thoroughly enjoyable.
Yeah, it makes our life easy.
Exactly, and it's awesome. I enjoy every moment of it every week. I look forward to it on Mondays, seeing them walk in here and tell me how my week's been. Just genuinely not just great athletes, but also just genuinely good people.
You notice that with a lot of the student athletes, I'm trying to think, like, I don't know if I've caught an ego from any of them yet.
Well, yeah, it's like I see them for 60 minutes, around 60 minutes, one day a week on a Monday. And they come in here and they're like, all right, see you next week. And they ask me how my week's going. And now Haley and Desiree want me to go to the Big Red Invite on February 20th.
You should. It'll be fun.
Exactly. And it's just down the road at Hollywood Bowl. And I'm like, I'll come and support you guys. You know, I've only met you for about a month now, but you guys are awesome. And you guys are, that's cool. It's like, oh, you should come out. I'm like, yeah, like I could totally do that. So we spoke that into existence, not only tonight, but on Monday. So,
and when I say you should, I'm also talking to ticket listeners. It's free.
It is, and it's bowling, and it's awesome. And they were telling me how you went out there last year and were able to support them, and they were talking about that last week because they have this week off before they go to the Big Red Invite and have a home invite for bowling. And they were talking about how it's awesome to have that kind of support, and there's so many Husker fans down there, and they're like, wow, I was blown away. You know, both of them are not from here, Desiree and Haley, and they're not from Nebraska, so they didn't know what Husker fans were like until they step foot on campus. And now they see it and they're like, wow, that's really cool. And to have that kind of atmosphere helps them in their performance. And you get to sleep in your own bed. You don't have to travel and everything like that. So
that's coming up on the 20th. So 2 weeks away.
It's coming quick. And it's the Friday, Saturday, Sunday. There are going to be a lot of really good teams there is what I've been told.
Yeah. Different from last year. Last year they, I don't know what the terminology is. I don't think it was it was still the Big Red Invite, but they didn't I don't know if they couldn't, if those other teams were held up, or if this year they just decided to invite a lot of the really, really good teams, but it'll be a bigger crowd just because there's going to be a lot of parents, coaches traveling to go watch them.
And that's cool to see. So shout out to all them for all they do here at the Ticket and for us as well. Cause we all truly appreciate everything they've done, not only in their academics and their competitions, but also for what they give to us for their hour or more a week here at the Ticket. So moving on topics, kind of a big deal going on in the sports world right now is the NBA trade deadline. The football season is kind of wrapping up. The college football playoff a couple weeks ago wrapped up. The Super Bowl is this weekend, but the NBA trade deadline is kind of taking the sports world by storm.
It usually does.
And it's usually compared to any other league, I would say the NBA trade deadline is probably the most chaotic because tomorrow afternoon is the deadline. There's usually more than 10 trades that happen, and they're usually one after another. So, and we had a little bit of a preview of that today, a little bit, but it's still pretty chaotic. I just wanted to run through a couple of these trades that have happened over the past 48 hours and seeing what your just overall thoughts were. I talked a little bit about a couple of them last night, but it's the all-star players are getting dealt, and there's a couple dominoes that could fall still. I don't know if they will, but there's a couple. So kind of pick your brain here. So there was the Memphis Grizzlies yesterday getting Kyle Anderson, Walker Clayton Jr., Taylor Hendricks, and Georges Niang and 3 future first-round picks. While Utah gets Jaren Jackson Jr., John Conchar, Jock Landale, and Vince Williams Jr. I don't know what the Grizzlies are really doing because
kind of resetting.
Well, both teams are not in the playoffs right now.
Yeah.
And Jaren Jackson Jr. is a great defensive player, but he's kind of been paired with Ja his whole entire career. And now Utah's kind of just, I don't know, trying to make a run, maybe. I don't know. They're not very close in the standings. The play-in, they're trying to just make a play-in rush. And then the Grizzlies are kind of resetting, which then one of those dominoes, Ja Morant. What happens now with him? Are they just going to keep him to the offseason? Do they trade him tomorrow because Jaren Jackson Jr. fell?
I think they hold on to him. I think because he's not super old or anything. And because they didn't give up any picks, right?
Yeah, 3 for Jaren. So the Jaren Jackson
Not
Jr.
the Jazz.
Not the Jazz, no.
The Grizzlies. They didn't give up. They just got 3 picks. First rounders?
Yes. So Jaren Jackson Jr.
That's a great deal.
So Jaren Jackson Jr. got 3 first-round picks. Trae Young and Luka, only 1.
Oh, there's 2. And then 3 second rounders.
But still, Jaren Jackson Jr. got more of a, there's more players included. Let's say that. But
that's a great deal for me. Like, if I'm the Grizzlies, like, hell yeah. Are you kidding me?
Yeah,
Jaren Jackson Jr. is a phenomenal player.
And you have some solid role players. That
wasn't
Landale.
Getting you over the hill. It's kind of shown these past 2 seasons that at first it was like, well, Ja Morant isn't, not even healthy. He just, for reasons he could not participate in some basketball games.
Yes.
But it's like that team just it wasn't clicking like everyone thought it was going to. And then this season was kind of the same thing. Yeah, you keep John Morant, but you get 3 first-round picks, and that's all you have to give up.
So a couple other ones, Nikola Vucevic, the Celtics get a center. That is kind of what they were kind of missing. They're still a really good team. I mean, they're up there in the top 3 in the Eastern Conference. They get Nikola Vucevic from the Bulls as they give up Anthony Simons and a second-round pick. James Harden was one that I talked about last night.
Real quick on the Bulls Celtics trade.
Yes.
Great trade for the Celtics.
Yeah, because they get a center. They get a center who is he's
having a career year. Well, not a career, but he's looking really good compared to years prior. Like, this has been a Vucevic year, and I'll tell you what, he has looked frustrated on that Chicago Bulls team. Like, just not happy with the guys around him not taking it seriously.
The Bulls might be the most active team in the market, and I still don't know what they're doing.
I don't think they are either.
They have been active in the last 72 hours. That's one of the trades made. So James Harden goes to the Cavs. That was kind of
sorry, one more quick before we get off Chicago Bulls, because this is how bad this disaster's been. So Zach LaVine, Lonzo Ball, Alex Caruso, DeMar DeRozan, and Vucevic.
That's like the starting lineup.
That's your starting 5. How many first-round picks?
I don't know.
0. They got 0 first-round picks for all of those. Zach LaVine, DeMar DeRozan, you couldn't get one. Zach LaVine was the guy to really get some harvest out of it, and they got nothing.
And the Bulls are still treading water in that 10 seeds.
But we got Anthony Simons
still. I mean,
fixed it, I guess.
They missed it. We'll get to the Bulls. We'll get more Bulls trades that happened. There were a lot of them. James Harden obviously going to the Cavs. I talked about it last night. It's interesting because you pair him with Donovan Mitchell now, kind of in a title pursuit because the Cavs are right now on the 5th spot. They would have to play Toronto in the first round of the playoffs. Interesting because you still got guys like Jared Allen there and Evan Mobley, but
Garland was good.
James Harden's actually having a pretty good year. He's 16th in the league in scoring right now.
Yeah,
it's the James Harden playoff though. At the hill they have to get over because the playoffs sometimes can't make a shot when it matters. Sorry, Houston Rockets fans, when all they had to do is just make 1 3 or a couple threes against the Warriors to get to that finals. And past years he has doubt maybe he'll do it. He's jumped from team to team now. It's a 6th team. I think they're just trying to find something that clicks. Maybe pairing him with Donovan Mitchell works. I don't know. We'll have to see it to believe it. But I found that very interesting that he got dealt. When I was here Monday, there was rumors that he was going to get traded and they were trying to try to find something. And less than 24 hours later, they found it. So I will see what sticks there. The Anthony Davis one was the one I just got here earlier today, and I saw that one. And wow, Anthony Davis to the Wizards.
And Trae Young.
That trade also was weird because Trae Young was on the Hawks, now he's on the Wizards, and the Wizards haven't really done anything really in the past couple of years. So this full trade, the full details, there's a lot of movement in this one. The Wizards get Anthony Davis and then guards Jaden Hardy, D'Angelo Russell, Dante Exum.
That's right. D'Angelo's out there too.
He's going to be on the Wizards now.
Yeah.
And then the Mavs get Chris Middleton, who just went to the Wizards this last year, AJ Johnson, Malachi Branham, and Marvin Bagley III. In return, the Mavs get a 2026 first-round pick, 2030 first-round pick, 2026, 2027, 2029 second-round picks. I don't know really the Mavs, you had Anthony Davis. He only played 29 games this year, and now he's gone. You had Luka, obviously, a year ago. He's gone. Is Kyrie Irving next to fall? Is he another one of the dominoes?
I think so.
I mean, because I don't know, because Cooper Flagg is the guy they're trying to build this team around. The Klay Thompson signing kind of backfired on him because he's not the Klay Thompson of what we've seen in the past in Golden State. I think Mavs are kind of going on a full-on reset, and they're just going to build around Cooper Flagg. And Kyrie Irving, somebody's going to take him. We've seen it. Obviously what happened in Brooklyn happened. He still got traded in there. And I think somebody would be interested. And when he's playing at a high level, he is one of the best point guards in the league.
He's looked good with the Mavs too. This has been, I was wrong. I thought it was like a dumpster move for the Mavs to pick him up. He's actually worked out way better than I anticipated. So I think somebody will definitely pick him up. I don't know. This trade just kind of feels like another loss for the Wizards. I know they only gave up 2 first-rounders and then 3 second-round picks. I don't know. That's what you're hitching your wagon to. Are you going to really go compete with Anthony Davis, Trae Young, and D'Angelo? It doesn't move the needle a lot for me, and you traded away more future capital for some wins. You'll be better.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's worth trading away that much future just to be a little bit better and they're not, in my mind, they're not going to catch the Celtics, the Cavs, or
any
of the teams that are actually favorites.
Wizards 13-36, tied for dead last in the East. They're 10 games out of the play-in. I don't really know what to say about the Wizards, what they're doing. They are
like next season,
I guess. But
I do like the dynamic of AD and Trae Young, but it's like AD's just hurt all the time, and Trae Young's defense is so rough. That helps that you have AD in there, but if he's not healthy, no, the Wizards don't scare me with that lineup. It's essentially what I'm trying to say, and I don't like them giving away that much capital for something that has little potential for
GBR
me.
Captain says the headline should read James traded to Cleveland. That's a little clickbaity right there. That's a little clickbaity. LeBron not getting traded. It is not happening. Sorry.
People want Giannis, James Harden, and
Giannis
LeBron
is the next one. Giannis is the next domino. Jared McCain to OKC. I think it's a little sneaky. He got traded.
He's really good.
That's what I mean. He was really good. He was maybe front runner for rookie of the year last year until he got hurt and his season ended. It's a sneaky shooter that could help OKC come postseason play because they are so deep, and that just adds to their depth. They didn't have to give up any players in that. Just first round pick 2025, a couple seconds 2027, and then 2 2028 second round picks for Jared McCain.
Yeah, and there's another cheap player who's going to be on that rookie deal that you can ball out. Like you got another cheap player. Like what the Thunder have done, they have so many guys on these cheap deals. Like if the goal is rookie contracts, get a rookie who's really good, and you're going to be able to fill your roster with some good talent around it. The Thunder have so many picks. Like it seems like, man, they give away a lot of picks. They have so many. They're not sweating about that at all.
Exactly. I remember Sam Presti those years when he, as the GM, he kept adding picks and picks and picks. And now look at them now. They're defending NBA champions and they haven't lost their step. They're playing Spurs right now in another really big game tonight.
That's why I always say it. Like if you're a GM, and I get it, they get fired like every 3.5 years. So it's hard to pull off. But if you can convince ownership, like, listen, like the Raiders, I'm just going to trade down and trade down and trade. I am going to hoard picks. And then eventually we will be in such a good position that we can trade for players. We can draft a bunch every year. And then if we have a good team and we still have a lot of picks, well, then it's just all gravy. We can make a lot of moves like what they just did. Their team was good, but it's like, let's just bring McCain in here. We have a ton of picks for leverage. We can just give those out. It's not like we're still lacking in that area. So the Thunder have just put on a clinic on how to operate and manage a team.
So a couple other quick notes on some trades. The Bulls got Colin Sexton on picks. The Hornets then got Mike Conley in return, who was traded to the Bulls as of yesterday. Now he's gone again. And Kobe White, which Kobe White I really liked in Chicago.
That was the one guy I thought they'd keep for sure.
I would too, and that's devastating. I liked when they picked him in the draft. I was like, this guy's gonna be pretty good, and kind of a cornerstone guy, but they didn't. And then Mason Plumlee got waived by OKC. So
what teams has he been on?
Too many.
Too many. I feel like every time first time I played 2K, like 2K10, he made some.
I have it here. So he's Brooklyn, Portland, Denver, Detroit, Charlotte, Clippers, Phoenix, and then back to Charlotte. So 7.
He is your typical good center, cheap contract. It's 1 or 2 year deal.
Get a couple of rebounds a game, play good defense, get some putback dunks, and know your role, and that's the kind of player. Chris Paul traded to the Raptors in a 3-team trade. Ocha Agabaji, former Kansas guard, goes to the Brooklyn Nets along with the second-round pick. Clippers get draft rights to a European player who is currently in Europe. And then the Toronto Raptors get Chris Paul, but it sounds like they're going to try to move him tomorrow. So get your Toronto Raptors Chris Paul jerseys ASAP. I don't know. If I'm Chris Paul, I'm just ring chasing. Get on the OKC roster and get that ring and then retire.
I hope he gets a ring so bad.
I'm a Chris Paul fan.
I am
too, and I really liked watching him throughout his, when he's back on the New Orleans Hornets back when. I remember seeing a little bit of that, and then he's kind of jumped around the league in some misfortune. Got to the Suns to the finals, didn't win it because of a guy named Giannis Antetokounmpo, and he's kind of bounced around the league from here and there. And now I don't know who wants him, so he's going to get moved again. It sounds like, or waived, and then somebody can maybe pick him up.
Problem is, he's like a locker room guy.
That's why the Clippers got rid of him.
The Wizards could use him.
But the Wizards are
not for his potential, not for his court ability, but for his leadership.
I don't think the Wizards are going to be ring chasing. If you're looking at teams like maybe put him on Detroit.
Yeah, I'm thinking of teams that would need want Chris Paul.
Put him on a team like Detroit. Put him on the Spurs. He was there last year. Put him on the Spurs. Bring him back and cheap contract. Sit behind all those guards. You don't need him unless you need to. Put him there. Maybe put him on the Nuggets. He could throw some lobs to Jokic. I could see it.
That Nuggets would be fun.
It would be fun. Like, he's obviously not the Chris Paul of...
And they like a veteran, wily point guard because they had Russell Westbrook, and that worked out really well. I can see them going for it.
A couple more trade notes. So Jock Landale, who I mentioned earlier, is now going to the Hawks. Lonzo Ball to the Jazz with cash considerations, and the Cavs get 2 second-round picks in that 3-team trade. It sounds like Lonzo Ball might be getting waived.
Yeah, he has just, I don't know what his numbers are. He has really struggled this season. His 3-point shot has not been there.
I'm just saying this out of spite and just to see it happen. Bring him back to the Lakers. Full circle Mowat gets to go back to the Lakers or draft him.
They'll just treat him like they treated D'Angelo Russell. We're going to draft you, we're going to trade you, and then we're going to trade back for you, and then you're going to give us a year, and we're going to trade you again.
I just want to see it just because it would be, Chino Hills, all that. We saw the upcoming. Everybody, even myself included, was shooting like Lonzo Ball at their hoop. Everybody's like, oh man, this is interesting. And it was the talk of college basketball that year when he was there, and LeVar, and then LaMelo comes up, and we all they were one of the most famous families, I think, in the United States and maybe the world at one point.
Yeah, and then Magic Johnson's like, your jersey would be hanging up here. And I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
This guy's already got every eye on him. And now you're telling him
his dad's
jersey's going to be retired at his opening press conference. Like, pump the brakes.
And his dad was obviously has some famous clips out there where he talking up how he take.
At least that's his dad, though, not Magic Johnson.
Hey, to LeVar's fault, he did say that all his kids would be in the league, and they all were at one point.
He also said LaMelo would be the best one.
I think he's right.
He's batting 3 for 3.
So, yep.
Yeah,
never lost.
He was wrong about him being better than Steph Curry.
As he said, never lost.
Yeah.
Never lost. And then the final trade, one that happened tonight, cash considerations to the Magic. Tyus Jones to the Hornets along with 2 second-round picks. That is another trade.
Duke.
Yep. He's another guy who's bounced around the league a lot, too. So those are the trades. I have the Shams Charania of ESPN's notifications on and a couple other accounts because
it's these hours is usually when these things get punched.
That's what I mean. Like, Giannis could be traded here in the next 15 minutes, and if neither one of us checks our phone or checks the internet, think of that. I just got a Shams Charania right now. We do have actually trade that just happened. We just spoke into existence. Golden State Warriors are trading Jonathan Kuminga and Buddy Hield to the Hawks for Kristaps Porzingis.
Interesting. Okay.
I spoke it into existence.
The Hawks lost a 3-point shooter with bad defense, and they're like, we got to go get another one. Bring in Buddy Hield.
Kuminga wanted out, it sounded like, but Buddy Hield's a nice little role player.
But for that Hawks team.
But Kristaps Porzingis, he was just with the Hawks. And everyone thought the Hawks, this was pairing him with Trae Young at the start of the year. This was what was going to turn the Hawks into a perennial team in the East that could maybe take the next step.
Expensive contract for a losing team.
And now Trae Young is no longer there about a month ago. And now Kristaps Porzingis is no longer there. Now he is on the Warriors. So the Warriors, Jimmy Butler's out for the year.
Yep.
And you bring in Kristaps Porzingis as a center who can shoot. I
like that move for the Warriors.
I do. I don't know what the Hawks are doing, but
Kuminga, to your point, wasn't working out there.
And they needed something to work. Now you have Draymond Green alongside Kristaps Porzingis, who's also jumped around the league. Wow.
I suppose they didn't able to trade away Kevin Looney because they've been trying that forever.
I am shocked that I spoke that, and that was I literally I glanced over, I saw the X notification and saw Shams' name. I'm like, did I just if Giannis really just got traded?
I was thinking
I better go buy a lottery ticket or something, man. But we're gonna go to break. We'll be back. We'll talk about Nebraska women's basketball. They were up in Ann Arbor and played Michigan. We'll be right back here on 93.7 The Ticket.
Anderson Ford in Lincoln has 2 convenient locations, which means 2 times the customer service, 2 times the inventory, and 2 times the ability to get you in the car of your dreams. Whether you visit us on the north side or the south side, you'll find more selection and a team that's always on your side. When you're looking for a better way to buy your next Ford, visit Anderson Ford in Lincoln, where exceptional service meets unbeatable selection.
Concrete Industries has immediate job openings for precast production laborers and maintenance technicians. Concrete Industries offers great pay, health benefits, 401k, a wellness program, holidays, and paid time off. Apply today to earn a starting pay of $21.50 per hour plus a $1,500 hiring bonus. Concrete Industries is hiring all experience levels and offers on-the-job training. Start your career today as a precast production laborer or maintenance technician. Visit concreteindustries.com.
A membership with John Henry's will fast-track you to front-of-the-line service, seasonal tune-ups, and far fewer unexpected moments. That means no breakdowns, no waiting on a call, and no nonsense. It's consistent care that prevents small issues from turning into big bills. Join the Comfort Club and get VIP treatment 365 days a year with 24-hour priority response, member-only discounts, and peace of mind on your home's most expensive systems. Call John Henry's.
John Henry's Plumbing, heating and air.
And electrical.
Make your next event unforgettable with Grazing Gouda, your local artists and experts in charcuterie and grazed tables. From boardrooms to ballrooms, they turn gatherings into experiences with stunning spreads of artesian cheeses, cured meats, fresh fruits, and gourmet bites. Perfect for corporate luncheons, weddings, parties, or any celebration that deserves a wow moment. They handle the details. You take the compliments. Book your graze table today at GrazingGouda.com. Grazing Gouda, because every event deserves to be savored.
Just got new tires put on my car today. You did? I didn't see you leave the office. I didn't need to. Graham Tire picked up my car this morning and dropped it back off and they were done. You're kidding. How'd you get that kind of service? That's just what they do at Graham Tire.
Schedule your service online on the Pickup and Delivery tab at GrahamTireLincoln.com. That's GrahamTireLincoln.com. Let us do the running. Some limitations apply. See store for details.
Big value and big flavor meet at Wings and Rings thanks to the all-new delicious Duo Combo. This is the one you've been waiting for. Get one half-sized appetizer and 2 entrees with a side for only $19.99. Bring a friend for the best deal in town on any day of the week, during game time, or whenever the heck you want. Their made-to-order wings and chicken sandwiches are waiting for you at their 68th and O and 40th and Old Cheney locations. Stop by Wings and Rings and celebrate every day with the best meal deal in town.
Back Nine Golf in South Lincoln is the premier indoor golf experience in the state. The weather in the winter months is cold, windy, and as unpredictable as a tee shot on the 450-yard par 4. With top-of-the-line full-swing simulators and a PGA teaching professional, Back Nine Golf is there to help you improve your game and lower your score. Back Nine Golf is open to the public with 24/7 access for members. Learn about Back Nine's variety of memberships today and see the facility for yourself at 7501 South 15th Street in Lincoln, just south of 14th and Pine Lake Road. Back Nine Golf, your premier indoor golf and events destination.
Hi, Charlie Stone here, and joining me is Andy Goodyear with Honda of Lincoln. Before I bring Andy on, we want to wish you joy, success, and good health in 2026. Andy, are you there?
Yes, I am, Charlie. And by the way, that was well said.
Andy, I know you want to kick off 2026 with a bang. What's going on at the dealership?
We got a lot going on here, Charlie. We have incredible savings on every new remaining 2025, New Year's savings on every new 2026, special low long-term financing, and special lease rates. The biggest news is we have more than 400 new 2025 and 2026 Hondas to choose from.
How about pre-owned?
We have over 125 pre-owned and certified pre-owned Hondas right now with prices starting at under $10,000, and we have special low rates.
Well, maybe it's time you experience the best. The Honda of Lincoln way of doing business. 27th and Yankee Hill Road, or online at hondaoflincoln.com.
Sometimes good people make mistakes. When you find yourself in need of an attorney, call Liberty Law Group. The attorneys at Liberty Law Group will defend you in court and protect your freedom to get you the best possible outcome and the justice you deserve. Trust your freedom to Liberty Law Group, the best criminal attorneys in Nebraska and Iowa. Call them today at 877-404-5238. That's 877-404-5238. Or check them out online at libertylawgroup.com.
This is your year to win way more than bragging rights. At Warhorse Casino, your love of the game could earn you serious cash. The Pro Football Frenzy is free to play with cash prizes all season long, like up to $1,000 weekly, with your chance at $1 million, all while earning tier points and comp points every time you place a sports bet. Only at Warhorse Casino. Wagers may only be placed on Nebraska-based teams when played outside the state of Nebraska. Must be 21 or older to gamble. Gambling problem? Call 1-833-BET-OVER.
Empower a child today with the Teammates Mentoring Program by building a relationship based on strengths and chart a brighter future 1 week at a time. Find out how you can be a mentor by visiting LincolnTeammates.org. Become what you needed as a kid by joining the Teammates Mentoring Program today.
Back to Late Night in Lincoln live on 93.7 The Ticket. here is your host, Nick Whyman.
Welcome back. Late Night in Lincoln. Nick Whyman here, Harrison Arns, rocking with you. We just got done talking about the NBA trade deadline. As we were talking about it, there was a trade right before the end of the break, and Kristaps Porzingis, who spent his time in New York, in Boston, won a championship in Boston, then goes to Atlanta, gets traded this offseason, and now he's going to the Golden State Warriors per Shams Charania in that trade. Buddy Hield going as well to the Hawks. Kind of crazy. I mean, you got guys like Draymond Green and Kristaps Porzingis on the same team. That's the NBA. It goes quick, and we're sitting here right now, and who knows what's going to happen here in the next 15 minutes as we were only supposed to talk about the NBA for the first segment, but when a trade comes in at 10:30 at night on a Wednesday, the day before the trade deadline, it's going to happen.
It's going to be a really good defense.
It will be. So
with Draymond and Porzingis in there.
GBR says Draymond Green would have been in the league in the 80s and 90s. Basically, that's pretty much it, and just how crazy that trade was, and where do you guys think Giannis will end up? We can talk a little bit about that too. But this trade,
Chicago,
I don't see that. The Bulls, I don't know what the Bulls need to figure out what they're doing first. I think we all, I think a lot of people said Miami. I think Miami stays pat. Miami last.
They don't like splashy moves really.
I say stays pat, and his name Pat Riley. He's kind of calling the shots. I think they do. They kind of stay pat. Everyone throws out the Tyler Hero, Jaime Jaquez trade packages on social media. I think Miami just stays pat, and they'll have that play-in game against Chicago Bulls, the yearly play-in game. I think that is one that we will see. I'm looking. Every time I get a notification now, I'm a little scared here. Another minor trade. The Warriors active as well. Trace Jackson Davis to the Raptors for a second-round pick. So,
okay,
well,
not bad.
I liked him at Indiana. I like Trace Jackson Davis. I thought he was a little bit underrated, and I wanted the Heat to grab him in the draft, but
I think he was underrated because he's good enough to make a career in the NBA. Still getting traded around, and he didn't get traded for cash consideration. So
the NBA and then the Warriors got him, and he's kind of been playing his way in. And the Indiana teams he were on were not amazing at the time, but he was still the star of the show.
Where do you think Giannis ends up before we get off of it? Because the key words, and I say Chicago jokingly, he says he wants to go to a winning team. That is not Chicago. So I actually don't think it'll be Chicago. Miami does make sense. I don't know if Miami would pull the trigger, though. Like you said, Pat Riley. I was wondering, could the Warriors pull it off? But obviously not anymore.
Unless they flip Porzingis and whatnot. But
that's a bold flip, and maybe.
I don't know. The NBA trade deadline is nuts.
It is nuts. Is there a team the
Warriors
you see really fits?
8147 just said the Warriors just sent their Giannis package for Porzingis. Yeah, I don't see how it happens because Buddy Hield was a guy I think a team would take, like the Bucks, because he's a reliable role player / fringe starter in the league. I don't see how that happens now. I think they probably saw the Giannis was too much, and they said, you know what, Porzingis is another solid
he's
player.
Tall.
He can get rebounds. He can score. We're down Jimmy Butler, so you need to do something. So I think 8147 also says it's. So I think it's either Minnesota or Miami if it happens.
Oh,
but I'm guessing
Minnesota would be fun.
But I'm guessing it's neither. Minnesota would be fun, but they have so many guys like DiVincenzo would be a guy I think they'd probably move. Naz Reid, I think I love Naz Reid.
He is good for one game where he just goes nuclear from three.
That's what I mean.
And he wins you a playoff game.
He's like
single-handedly.
I love Naz Reid.
Naz Reid's one of those guys that when you got him on 2K, you can do some damage.
I remember him in college at LSU, and I was like, man, this guy is fun. And LSU wasn't the best, and they still aren't. But that'd be a crazy swap. A team that I continue to see, I could see him in a Raptors jersey. And the Raptors are the 4 seed right now, and the Raptors are having a heck of a season with the group they have right now.
Yeah, would the 76ers be able to pull that off?
I don't think so.
I'm trying to think.
If you're looking at the standings right now in the NBA, the Raptors are probably. The Pistons obviously are the number 1 seed right now in the East. I can see him on a. I don't really see him on a Western Conference team. So you look like, well, right now the Raptors slipped. They're number 6, but there's that tight seed. The Sixers obviously in there too. I think the Raptors, I could see him on a Raptors jersey. I don't know what they got. Emmanuel Quickley, RJ Barrett's there. You'd have to throw some picks, obviously, but I don't know. Minnesota would be really fun.
That's just the one that sounds fun. Like Anthony Edwards, Giannis Antetokounmpo. That's electric. athleticism between those two alone.
Maybe they trade Jaden McDaniels.
And Klay Thompson finds his 3-point shot again because they got to pack the lane so much with Giannis coming downhill and Anthony. And then Naz Reid goes nuclear from 3. Like that could be a fun.
So right now the Wolves are sitting in the 5 spot. They're kind of in the same record as the Raptors. So they'd be
same
in there.
spot they were last year. They kind of been hovering right in that middle.
Yeah, my opinion, I don't think he is traded. I think it's maybe an off-season thing, like something we're sitting here like July 6th, 7th, and that happens.
Now, you know what could break the NBA and crack open this NBA Finals favorite is if he somehow gets on the Nuggets. Jokic diming up Giannis would be terrifying.
Also, they said the Warriors had Porzingis as a target for the last couple of months and land a floor spacing big man for the Hawks. They have a high upside wing. They're pairing like Jalen Johnson, I think, is a very underrated player with the Hawks. They're pairing like Kuminga and Jalen Johnson together. They're very athletic. So,
okay.
But the Hawks are kind of in that retooling stage, I would say. But 8147 also says, I think Hero or McDaniels are better centerpieces than Quickly or Barrett. Exactly. That's why I think Toronto doesn't have enough. But you never know. The NBA.
There's been bad GMs that make bad moves. Someone might do it.
There are some trades where you sit there and go, that's all they got. And it's happened before. But
usually those first year GMs, when they get hired at a new place, they're like, let me go make a splash. And then they make the trade and it looks great. And you're like, wait. You gave away how many picks?
Exactly.
6?
And it says, I mean, if you're the Thunder, why not just send the farm of picks and send Jalen Johnson?
You could.
Or Jalen Williams. Why I say Jalen Johnson?
Because we just mentioned
exactly.
Johnson.
But yeah, you throw in those picks. I mean, that's
the beauty of good GMing is you just hoard those picks and you can always make trades. You don't handcuff yourself.
That's one where they would push the button and say veto the trade like they did the Chris Paul one.
They might
push the red button in the NBA commissioner's office. Can't let that happen. That would kind of give me KD to the Warriors vibes. And I don't then again, he's not signing as a free agent, but still it's like as an NBA GM not being on the Thunder, how do you give that up?
It's crazy. I just hope he becomes like a Nugget or a Bull. I think those are the two most fun, or a Timberwolf. Those are to me the most 3 fun. One's biased. Chicago wouldn't actually be that electric. It'd just be good for me. But the other two would be really good basketball.
So I'll talk a little bit more about this in the next hour or two. We'll give it its due diligence. Nebraska women's basketball played tonight against number 8 Michigan. On the other end of a 88-76 loss in Ann Arbor. Another ranked loss for the Huskers. Nebraska falls to 16-7 overall, 5-7 in Big Ten play. Michigan improves to 20-3 and 11-1 in play. And Michigan has yet to lose a home game in Ann Arbor for women's basketball. 12-0 now on the season.
What's the record? Or not record. What's their ranking?
8. So they played
top 10.
It was a close game. Nebraska led after the first quarter. But it's just kind of this tale as old as time. The other team, the opposition against Nebraska, hits some big time shots, gathers momentum in the second half, and just kind of holds on from there. And Britt Prince, Maya Hargrove, both 16 points apiece in the loss.
We called it with Hargrove that she's getting better.
She's getting better,
season goes on.
Starting now. Those two are kind of your dynamic duo at the point with Natalie Potts being on that medical red shirt.
God, that's a bummer.
And that's kind of that's a blow to not your season, but it seems in these close losses in Nebraska, it's so many opportunities against these top ranked teams. And they just have not been able to put it all together. Like this game, 88-76, they were in it throughout. It was just the other team makes some shots and gathers momentum, and Michigan's a really good team. Did you see their game against Michigan State the other night on Sunday?
Women's?
Yeah.
No.
The overtime game on Sunday. Michigan was up big. Michigan, really good 3-point shooting.
Yeah.
Really good field goal percentage team all year. They're not good at free throws. They're not good at free throws. They shot 50% from the line during that game at East Lansing. They shoot around 50% from the floor, about 38-something%, almost nearly 40% as a team from the 3-point line, but they struggle at free throws.
That's mental. That's a total mental break right there.
So they were up big like probably 8 points down the stretch, and Michigan State made some big-time shots as Nebraska saw that Michigan State team, and they have some really good players having a fantastic year. Tied up, end of regulation. Michigan's inbounding. Ball gets kind of in a scramble, loose in a scramble. Michigan State picks it up. He's from half court, nearly banked it in to win the game, but when rimmed out, goes to overtime, and Michigan goes on like a 10-0 run and just completely dominates from there. And that's kind of what happened tonight. Michigan kind of went on a little bit of a run. Nebraska's seen that kind of a tale as old as time right now. You saw it against USC here, and Nebraska's not been able to beat those top-ranked teams. Ohio State, they were in it for a bit. Couldn't beat them. So Nebraska, that's another loss. it's just kind of what the season's kind of come down to. And they have another opportunity this weekend, Saturday.
They need a big win back.
And they have another ranked opportunity ahead. They're playing number 22 Maryland. Tip-off between Nebraska and the Terrapins set for 1 p.m. That's here. That's right after the men's game. So if you're not making the trip to Piscataway, that's quite the trip. But if you're here in Lincoln and you want to watch some basketball, they will be playing. Just like I will give the shout out, how the whiteout was very big. I'm wearing, is this white or gray? Is this gray?
Yeah, that's it. Well, gray.
It's like a whitish gray, I'd say. It looks on the TV monitor. TV monitor looks like a white. But yeah, fans are encouraged to wear pink to support cancer survivors and promote cancer awareness for that game on Saturday. So that's another ranked opportunity for Nebraska. Maybe they can get the ball to fold their way. They've had so many games against ranked teams where they've been at Michigan State, Ohio State, USC, Iowa, and tonight against Michigan. They
should be a good crowd, though. But you got the I don't think there's going to be a lot of Husker fans traveling to Piscataway.
I don't think so.
So that helps their case.
And that game's at 11, and I'm assuming they would have the game on somewhere in some place, and you can make the trip down to PBA and go support the.
It's gonna be beautiful.
It will be nice. Maybe have a round of golf after the game because the game will get over at 3. Maybe you go do a round of golf. I
have a couple beers on the porch.
Whatever floats your boat. But that's Nebraska women's basketball. I'll talk a little bit more about that game in the second hour. We'll wrap up this first hour here on Late Night Lincoln. Nick Whyman, Harrison Arns here on 93.7 The Ticket.
In every office, there's 2 types of people. There are those who bring in bagels and those who eat the bagels that someone else brought in. Everybody likes the first person. Be that first person. Weekday mornings at 7:30, you have a chance to win a business box of bagels from Bagels & Joe. All you have to do is shut up, Sipple. 2 questions for you, 2 for Sip. Win and the bagels are yours. Lose, well, you don't want to lose.
You lost Monday, you lost Wednesday, you're a loser.
Shut up, Sipple. Weekday mornings at 7:30, brought to you by Bagels & Joe.
Hey there, this is Paul Scheel, owner of High Electric. I want to thank our friends and loyal customers and introduce High Electric to those looking for a new electrician. We've been serving the Lincoln and Omaha area for over 30 years, from design to install, upgrades, and repair. If you are a homeowner or a small business needing some electrical work, call us at 402-466-6606 or check us out at hyelectric.com. We look forward to hearing from you.
Your possibilities are endless at Doane University. Rooted in liberal arts, you can choose from undergraduate and graduate programs, all delivering real-world experience. At Doane University, we take a personal approach to education, giving you the guidance you need to own your future. It's not just our long history of innovative learning, it's the feeling of being surrounded by possibilities that makes us different. Now is your time. Apply today at doane.edu/apply.
At Jimmy John's, we don't make sandwiches. We make the sandwich of sandwiches. We use fresh veggies because we don't hate salads. We just feel bad for them. We make our sandwiches exactly how you want because you're the one who's eating it. And we bake bread all day, every day because stale bread isn't bread. It's croutons. Sandwich history is written by the victors. Good thing we have legible handwriting. Jimmy John's, the sandwich of sandwiches. Order pickup or delivery on the app.
Select Plumbing and Utility has been serving Lincoln and the surrounding area for 14 years, and they're not slowing down. Select Plumbing and Utility handles all your plumbing needs, from faucets and water heaters to full renovations, and they can even help with your heating and cooling needs. They're also Lincoln's underground experts, repairing and replacing broken underground water and sewer lines since day one. Contact Select Plumbing and Utility today at 402-560-6197, assuring excellence in every situation, opportunity, and challenge. That's 402-560-6197.
Looking for a financial partner that truly makes a difference? Modern Woodman is a member-owned fraternal financial services organization. We can help you plan for all stages of life, from protection to saving to retirement. We also offer member benefits, social activities, and volunteer opportunities to help your family and community.
I'm Sean Erickson, your Modern Woodman representative in Lincoln. Call me at 402-483-6515 to start the conversation.
Modern Woodman of America, touching lives, securing futures.
Have you been looking for home technology upgrades but don't know where to turn? Online information can be contradicting and confusing. Lincoln's own experts at Diode Technologies can turn your living room into the place to watch your favorite sports. Whatever your vision is, Diode Tech is ready to make it a reality. From home theaters to outdoor entertainment spaces, they bring you along through the entire process to make sure you get exactly what you want. If you're ready to upgrade your entertainment space, visit Diotech online at diotech.net or give them a call at 402-793-5124.
This is your year to win way more than bragging rights. At Warhorse Casino, your love of the game could earn you serious cash. The Pro Football Frenzy is free to play with cash prizes all season long, like up to $1,000 weekly, with your chance at $1 million, all while earning tier points and comp points every time you place a sports bet. Only at Warhorse Casino. Wagers may only be placed on Nebraska-based teams when played outside the state of Nebraska. Must be 21 or older to gamble. Gambling problem? Call 1-833-BET-OVER.
Hey guys, this is former UFC fighter and mixed martial artist Anthony Lionheart Smith. The Upside Bar and Lounge in South Lincoln is the go-to spot for every UFC event, prelims, and main card. There's never a cover, so make sure you get there early and stay late. Upside Bar and Lounge has daily specials, a margarita club, and a taco club. And don't forget, they just added Buzz Bowls to their menu. Learn more about upcoming events by visiting UpsideBarLNK.com and stop into their South Lincoln location for every UFC event on 27th and Pine Lake.
Jack Russell of Farm Bureau Financial Services is here to help you protect things that are most important to you. Whether it's your home, your family, or your future, Jack Russell has the proven experience to get the job done while developing authentic relationships with you. Give Jack a call today at 402-421-9100. Again, that's 402-421-9100. Or visit one of his 2 locations in Lincoln or Seward and learn how you can excel in the complicated world of insurance. Jack Russell of Farm Bureau Financial Services, a trusted and well-respected representative since 1999.
All right, Lincoln, if you're a diesel technician who's ready to earn up to $40 an hour and you're tired of working nights and weekends, listen up. Inland Truck Parts and Service is hiring experienced diesel technicians right here in Lincoln, and they're offering what every hardworking tech wants. Monday through Friday hours, no nights, no weekends, and paid training on advanced diesel technology. With 37 locations across 12 states, career advancement opportunities are endless. Start building towards your future and apply today at inlandtruck.com. That's inlandtruck.com. Or text APPLY to 785-369-1320.
Back to Late Night in Lincoln live on 93.7 The Ticket. Here is your host, Nick Whyman.
And we're back, 93.7 The Ticket. Nick Whyman alongside Harrison Arns for this first hour of Late Night in Lincoln. We've talked a lot about the NBA, and we'll continue to talk about it. You'll hear a lot about it probably here on the station. I would assume tomorrow, being the deadline, is going to be around 4 o'clock Eastern time. So Austin will probably have you logged into the old school tomorrow. You'll want to be there because I'll probably be like a trade deadline special, essentially, is what. Because it'll be, the trades will be coming quick. And there, I don't know how many trades. If we had to over under, how many trades do you think tomorrow? I don't.
That might be 2. I'm gonna go like 7.
I was gonna go like 12. There's usually. I'm not saying like, including the small ones. There's some like bench players who get traded for cash consideration.
I say no because it feels like a lot of the bench role player stuff's kind of been handled already. Feels like we're just waiting for the big splashes. There might be some.
I'll say some.
Then
guys
transactionals
or guys get dealt a couple times that
some cash consideration guys.
There are some like Mason Plumlee's happened. Dario Saric was one. Alonzo Ball, I mean, another team. I don't know where he goes. Maybe
great pickup for the
Chris Paul. Well, he's getting waived allegedly by the Jazz. Alonzo Ball. Allegedly, they're going to try to move him. Is this news to you?
Yeah, for some reason I did not hear the part that he was getting waived. I don't know what the move is there.
They're going to try to move him and try to move him and try to either waive him or move him in trade.
Your team's not garbage. You might as well just put him at point guard and see what happens.
So I don't know. So tonight there was a marquee NBA game tonight. The Nuggets took on the Knicks, double overtime in Madison Square Garden, 134-127. The Knicks have now won 8 straight games. Crazy. They are one of the hottest teams. Them and the Hornets.
Hornets have been. I said this a long time ago, and I kept hyping up LaMelo Ball, and I was like, I don't think people understand how freaking good this guy is because the Charlotte Hornets are never on TV for obvious reasons. But I'm like, he's really good. If they eventually get a team around him, watch out. And now they have a team and they're playing well, and it's really good team chemistry. The ball movement there is awesome.
Coming into today, the Knicks and the Hornets had the longest win streaks in the league with 7. Hornets currently sitting in the 11th spot. Knicks now 2nd spot, tied with the Celtics. 8 straight wins for them. In the win tonight, 42, I believe. 42, or where is it at here? 42 points for Jalen Brunson. 14 of 27 shooting, 5 of 12 from 3 to lead the Knicks past the Nuggets. Let's look at Jokic's numbers.
I was going to say, double overtime, it's probably stupid.
30 points, 14 rebounds, 10 assists.
We just like read that like nothing now.
And well, he was shut down in the first half for a bit, but they were able to. 39 for Jamal Murray. I mean, double overtime when you get in the NBA, the scoring is obviously at the highest rate it has been. The Knicks this year, I was out on them for a while. I don't know, maybe I'm back in it just because of how they have a bench actually this year. You have Landry Shamet, 16 off the bench, Mitchell Robinson, 10. Obviously, your starters, Karl Anthony Towns, 24, OG Anunoby, 20, Jordan Clarkson, 11. He might be one of the more nice signings they've had because Jordan Clarkson's a really good role player, and they desperately needed some kind of bench. Tyler Kolek, only 1 point tonight. I'm a big Tyler Kolek fan, always been since he was at Marquette. But he's had some games. He had a game on Christmas where he kind of took the lead by storm then, and then he's kind of just been that guy. He's kind of like Colin Gillespie. Colin Gillespie dropped 30 points the other night for the Knicks, for the Suns.
Kind of like a Lou Dort type of night.
Just kind of
where you just go nuclear, and everyone's like, we're not going to expect this, but he's capable.
Kaysen Wallace had that the other night for the Thunder against the Nuggets. He had like 20-some second right there as SGA, which is crazy to say. But that was the NBA, one of the marquee games tonight. I haven't seen any other ones that have gone final, but that one was kind of the Jokic at MSG double overtime. You don't see that too often. But and the Spurs did beat the Thunder tonight, by the way.
Yeah, Victor Wembanyama versus the young crew that is the Thunder. The Spurs are they're good.
I hope this is the West. I need a 7-game series of the Spurs and the Thunder. It was a rivalry kind of before then, not really though, because the Spurs were kind of the Tim Duncan era. We're kind of going down while KD and the Russ and all them were kind of going up, and then both teams were kind of meh for a bit. Now these teams, like the NBA Cup, kind of sparked this like rivalry with them for some reason. I mean, they're kind of close by. They're kind of same division, same conference. I just need it just because they're both kind of the young up and coming teams. The Thunder, NBA defending NBA champions, still young and up and coming though. And then you have Victor Wembanyama, who is taking the lead by storm. He's as advertised.
He's good. You know what I like about Victor Wembanyama too is like I think he's so polite and he's reading books in the locker room. And you're like, oh man, he's gonna be this really nice guy. He doesn't mess around on the court. Like he's pretty aggressive. He's not going to do anything like dirty or nasty, but he'll stare you down. Like he'll put his body into you and throw you off. Like he's going for the win. Victor Wembanyama has been a pleasant surprise. Like the personality he has on the court, like that dude's not messing around, and you really see it in these Thunder games where he's trying to destroy them.
You talk about the personality. Like he's on the court, he is aggressive. Have you seen the last year when they played in New York when he was playing chess?
Yeah,
in New York against random people. He was like, hey, I want to play chess. And like tons of people showed up to play this 7'4" guy. And like, I remember I was like, how the heck are you going to find like he didn't put really like a location. He was like, oh, come just meet me here in New York at this. It's like, well, if I saw a 7'4" guy,
it's easy to find.
I'd be like, this guy is,
I think that's Victor.
That's probably him. Or unless he's like one of those guys, like trying to sneak into the movie theater where they have the big trench coat and they're two guys stacked on top of each other.
That'd be like 3 toddlers. That'd be like 5. I mean, to get to 7-7.
We're talking about tall people right now. Before we get a break, have you seen the NBA Celebrity All-Star Game rosters? Because they have that. They have the Friday night before they play that on TV.
What does it look like?
So like ESPN reporter Shams Charani's playing in it. Taco Fall was the guy I was getting to.
What?
Celebrity.
No, okay.
So he is in the NBA Celebrity All-Star Game.
Do you take that as a slight or a compliment?
So
Taco Fall.
So he's training to be a fireman. Have you seen those videos?
No.
So he's like retired from basketball officially.
He'd be a damn good fireman.
I mean, if you're 7 foot, like
if you're on the second floor, just jump into his arms.
Just reach up. Here you go. I got you. Like, I mean, yeah, he's like a fireman. If you're a fireman, if you're in a fire, in some situation, you see a 7'9" guy or whatever coming in, I'd be kind of scared. But this guy, I mean, he's tall and
there's a little bit of a disadvantage because the heat and smoke goes up, so he's gonna have to be like crouch and go through those fires.
He's one of my favorite athletes in growing up because I remember he kind of took over college basketball. It's like, oh my gosh, this guy is.
Who did he play for?
Central Florida.
That's right.
Because they were an 8-9 seed, made it past, and then we got the Zion Williamson versus Taco Fall. Very fun March Madness game. It was a very good game too.
Taco Fall actually held his own.
Exactly.
Zion had quite a good game as well, but it was a fun match.
For a guy that tall and being able to move up and down the court, I can't imagine what that's like being just around 6 feet tall. That's add another foot and a couple inches. It's kind of crazy to say. And yep, celebrity All-Star game. I might have to watch because Taco Fall. One of my friends met him during the NBA draft process in Chicago and took a picture with him. And it's like they have their hands around each other and this like giant arms like on his shoulder. And it's like, oh my gosh, it's like crazy to see the height difference because the guy was like pretty solid, normal height guy. And it's like he looks like he's like 4'11" next to Taco Fall.
Yeah, it's just ridiculous.
So Harrison's gonna get out of here. We got one more hour here. Late Night in Lincoln, Nick Whyman here on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
In every office, there's two types of people. There are those who bring in bagels and those who eat the bagels that someone else brought in. Everybody likes the first person. Be that first person. Weekday mornings at 7:30, you have a chance to win a business box of bagels from Bagels & Joe. All you have to do is shut up, Sipple. 2 questions for you, 2 for Sip. Win and the bagels are yours. Lose, well, you don't want to lose.
You lost Monday, you lost Wednesday, you're a loser.
Shut up, Sipple. Weekday mornings at 7:30, brought to you by Bagels & Joe. This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet, KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Empower a child today with the Teammates Mentoring Program by building a relationship based on strengths and chart a brighter future 1 week at a time. Find out how you can be a mentor by visiting LincolnTeammates.org. Become what you needed as a kid by joining the Teammates Mentoring Program today.
Make your next event unforgettable with Grazing Gouda, your local artists and experts in charcuterie and grazed tables. From boardrooms to ballrooms, they turn gatherings into experiences with stunning spreads of artesian cheeses, cured meats, fresh fruits, and gourmet bites. Perfect for corporate luncheons, weddings, parties, or any celebration that deserves a wow moment. They handle the details, you take the compliments. Book your graze table today at GrazingGouda.com. Grazing Gouda, because every event deserves to be savored.
Big value and big flavor meet at Wings and Rings thanks to the all-new delicious Duo Combo. This is the one you've been waiting for. Get 1 half-sized appetizer and 2 entrees with a side for only $19.99. Bring a friend for the best deal in town on any day of the week, during game time, or whenever the heck you want. Their made-to-order wings and chicken sandwiches are waiting for you at their 68th and O and 40th and Old Cheney locations. Stop by Wings and Rings and celebrate every day with the best meal deal in town.
Want to make the easy call? Call John Henry's. From leaky pipes to a broken AC, flickering lights to furnace fights, even drains and duct cleaning, we've got it handled. Plumbing, heating, air, and electrical, all under one trusted roof. Proudly serving homes across Lincoln, Omaha, and surrounding areas and ready 24/7. Visit calljh.com or call
John Henry's. 435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing, Heating and Air,
and Electrical.
Tired of asking what's for dinner? Nourished for Life has got you covered. At Nourished, they're a local meal prep company that delivers fresh, chef-crafted, healthy meals straight to your door. Made from wholesome ingredients and ready when you are. No shopping, no chopping. Just heat, eat, and enjoy every night of the week. Fuel your busy days with balanced meals that are designed to keep you satisfied and energized. Visit nourishedforlife.co to purchase meals and taste the convenience of home-cooked comfort without the hassle.
Sometimes good people make mistakes. When you find yourself in need of an attorney, call Liberty Law Group. The attorneys at Liberty Law Group will defend you in court and protect your freedom to get you the best possible outcome and the justice you deserve. Trust your freedom to Liberty Law Group, the best criminal attorneys in Nebraska and Iowa. Call them today at 877-404-5238. That's 877-404-5238. Or check them out online at libertylawgroup.com.
Have you heard about Advanced Medical Imaging Surgery Center? Located at 7555 Pioneers Boulevard, Advanced Medical Imaging Surgery Center offers compassionate, patient-focused care and provides outpatient surgery services, making it possible to have non-emergency surgery and return home the same day. Advanced Medical Imaging Surgery Center specializes in cardiology, vascular radiology, orthopedics, pain management, and much, much more. Give them a call today at 402-261-1085 or online at amimaging.com.
Just got new tires put on my car today. You did? I didn't see you leave the office. I didn't need to. Graham Tire picked up my car this morning and dropped it back off and they were done.
You're kidding. How'd you get that kind of service?
That's just what they do at Graham Tire.
Schedule your service online on the Pickup and Delivery tab at GrahamTireLincoln.com. That's GrahamTireLincoln.com. Let us do the running. Some limitations apply. See store for details.
Winter is just around the corner. Is your vehicle ready? Don't get left out in the cold. At A1 Automotive, we prep your car for whatever winter throws your way here in Nebraska. For battery checks, for brake inspections, tires, heaters, whatever your car needs to keep you and your family safe on the road, we've got you covered. A1 Automotive, always honest answers.
93.7 The Ticket Sports News go now.
This is Nick Whyman with your sports update. Nebraska women's basketball traveled to Ann Arbor to battle number 8 Michigan tonight. The Cornhuskers dropped the game to the Wolverines by a score of 88-76. Britt Prince and Amaya Hargrove led the Cornhuskers offense with 16 points each in the loss to Michigan. Nebraska falls to 16-7 overall on the 2025-2026 season and returns home on Saturday, February 7th, as the Cornhuskers host 22 Maryland, with tip-off set for 1 p.m. on the Big Ten Network. For the second straight year, Nebraska volleyball will play a match at Pinnacle Bank Arena. The Huskers, coming off an Elite Eight run before losing to eventual national champion Texas A&M, will host Creighton at Pinnacle Bank Arena this fall. Nebraska head coach Danny Busman Kelly announced the news during an interview on Wednesday. The date and time for this match between the Cornhuskers and the Blue Jays at Pinnacle Bank Arena will be announced at a later date. With the NBA trade deadline approaching, the Dallas Mavericks have agreed to trade 10-time All-Star Anthony Davis to the Washington Wizards in an 8-player blockbuster trade. The Mavericks will send Davis and guards Jaden Hardy, D'Angelo Russell, and Dante Exum to the Wizards for Chris Middleton, A.J. Johnson, Malachi Branham, Marvin Bagley III, along with 2 first-round picks and 3 second-rounders. And for all the latest sports news and updates, keep it tuned right here at 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
It's been a busy day in sports. A lot has happened while you were up to your eyeballs in work. Catch up on what went down in Nebraska athletics, college sports, and your favorite pro sports leagues. This is Late Night in Lincoln live on 93.7 The Ticket. Sponsored by Canopy Street Market. Here is your host, Nick Whyman.
And we're back. Hour 2, late night in Lincoln. Nick Whyman with you. Harrison getting out of here before the clock strikes midnight in about 53 minutes. Thank you, Harrison, as always. He's picking up some trash right now, cleaning through some housekeeping items. We all appreciate you. 402-464-5685, the Starter Heyman Jewelers text line. Also, if you're watching on Facebook, X, YouTube, or Allo, channel 961. Chat with me. You're with me here for another hour before we send you into your Thursday on February 5th, 2026. But we're still here. One more hour left on February 4th, 2026, here in the capital city, here on 1040 O Street. First hour, we got done talking about the NBA trade deadline. My notifications are still on just in case if something happens. I feel like a lot of these blockbuster trades, for a majority of the time, happen in the late night hours in Central and Eastern time zones. Obviously, Luka Doncic last year. A couple years ago, Kevin Durant to the Suns happened in the late night hours. But yeah, we talked a little about the NBA trade deadline. Nebraska women's basketball losing to another ranked opponent, number 8 Michigan in Ann Arbor. Up there in Ann Arbor, Nebraska women's basketball falling to 16-7 the year. They will be back at home on Saturday as they play another ranked team in 22 Maryland at 1 o'clock on Saturday. Fans are wanting to wear pink in honor of breast cancer awareness and cancer awareness for that game as well. The New York Knicks won a double overtime game against the Nuggets at MSG. So I was going to talk about Husker football as much as we want to talk about Nebraska football. It's a year-round subject all the time. We're gonna do an audible real quick. There is a lot going on in college basketball as we speak right now. It's 11 o'clock Central Time. There has been a lot that has happened here in the past 4 or 5 hours in the college basketball world. So there's a lot of ranked teams. There's like 7 ranked games going on tonight across college basketball. UCF losing on the road to Houston, number 8 Houston, 79-55. Okay. The Houston Cougars at home are a tough out. They are going to be jockeying for a number 1 or a number 2 seed in the NCAA tournament here on Selection Sunday in about 5 or 6 weeks. Louisville beat Notre Dame by 11. Illinois dominating. Illinois, we talked about Illinois, about how they look good against Nebraska. Well, they won 84-44 against Northwestern. Illinois might be the team to watch right now in the country. They are rolling. Keaton Wagler, only 13 points, a little, they're up by 40, so they didn't really need him. But that team is absolutely rolling right now for the Fighting Illini. However, not only, I'm seeing all the chats here about the college basketball. You guys see this game and that game. I see the comments. I see the text line. This is why I pivoted to this topic, because you guys are talking about it, about the college basketball landscape right now. And it's what's going on as we speak. There's a game right now, 50 seconds left. That is a very important game for Nebraska in general. Nebraska basketball. There's one game on there that is very important. Could help Nebraska get a 2 seed come Selection Sunday. We'll get in that here in a second. I'm waiting for that game to go final so we can officially talk about it, because it's still close. But yeah, Louisville, Houston, Illinois. Those 3 teams in the top 25 handled business. And as they did in pretty simple games. So, top 10 team, Michigan State. Nebraska beat them back in January, early January. Minnesota, who Nebraska recently played up at the Barn. Minnesota upsets the Spartans, 76-73, which ends the Golden Gophers' 7-game skid to give Minnesota the win at home over number 10, Michigan State. Minnesota now 11-12, Michigan State 19-4. Minnesota, as I said back when a lot of people said, they are a lot better team than the record shows. They had Nebraska on the brink there. They made double-digit three-pointers in the first half against the Huskers, and then they just went ice cold, could not make a three-pointer in the second half. That Saturday in Minnesota when Nebraska was up there, and Nebraska ran away with the game in the second half. Minnesota, I think they're a lot better team than the record shows. Just looking at the body of work and what a lot of their games, they've had a lot of tough losses. Nebraska game obviously is tough for reasons said, not making those three-pointers in the second half and the tale of two halves. They went to overtime with Ohio State. They couldn't beat them. Ohio State ran away with an 8-point win there in Columbus. Minnesota knocking off Michigan State. That bodes well for the top half of the Big Ten now with that loss, and may help Nebraska maybe sneak in over a conference team, maybe for maybe a 2 seed come Selection Sunday. That Nebraska handled business. Minnesota, was it pretty at all times? No, but they were able to get a win. Michigan State had to try to have a late surge. Didn't happen. Minnesota holds on for a 76-73 win. Not only that, but Oklahoma State at home knocks off number 16 BYU, which Oklahoma State is on that bubble watch. They're a pretty solid team. They're probably going to get into the tournament. This is a game that they can lean on with their resume. A 99-92 win over BYU, which gives Oklahoma State. Anthony Roy goes off for 30 points to help the Cowboys to win. AJ Abansa dropping 36 in that loss. As advertised, he is an NBA caliber player. Him and Darren Peterson and Kansas, probably 1 and 2 as of right now. If you're talking about the draft, that is probably your number 1 and at number 2 in the NBA mock drafts as of right now. It's still February. There's a lot of time. The NBA finals will have to come up, then the draft will come up. But that Big 12 basketball conference is really fun. You include teams like Houston, Iowa State, who's in there too, jockeying for a number 2 seed as well with Nebraska. There are a couple teams in there. So the game I was going to point out, this is one of the last games going on in college basketball right now. I see it on the text line. I see it in the box score here. I see it in the comments on Facebook, X, YouTube, or if you're watching on Allo Channel 961. I see it right now. Gonzaga, number 6 in the nation, Gonzaga, on the ropes against 10-14 Portland with 36 seconds to go. Portland up 84-78. Trying to pull off one of the biggest upsets of the year, I'd say, because Gonzaga, 22-1, going to probably be up there for a 1 or 2 seed. This game, Nebraska is cheering to hope Gonzaga has a slip up. Old school on Tuesday, I was on with Austin for a bit, and one of the topics was teams Nebraska's cheering interest, which teams you'd like to see Nebraska fans want to see lose to help Nebraska boost their resume and help them be able to grab a 2 seed or maybe a 1 seed if things fall here. 1 seed's hard to grab. There are 4 teams that stand above the rest. And this is what you're looking at. You're looking at Gonzaga was one of those teams. And with that, you needed Gonzaga to slip up. Well, you look at their conference, the West Coast Conference, Gonzaga. I said it on quote. I said Gonzaga, in the last decade, the last 10 years, Gonzaga rarely slips up in these conference games, conference tournament, West Coast Conference. St. Mary's, a team like St. Mary's, Santa Clara, San Francisco, those are the teams that usually would maybe give the Zags a little bit of fits from time to time, but Gonzaga usually came out on top in those games. Maybe St. Mary's from time to time was ranked in the top 20, and it was a really good game. And St. Mary's would be able to knock off Gonzaga. But this is Portland, the Pilots. Portland. 10 wins. They're 10-14. They are up by 7 with 10 seconds to go right now. I have it pulled up right now because it's happening as we are talking live, and I want to make sure that this game goes final, and I'm talking at Portland wins and not if Gonzaga pulls a comeback. So it's a 7-point game with 10 seconds to go. I would say it's in the bag, but if you stayed up late last night in college, the world of college basketball, there's so many games going on at once. There's so many late games. The Mountain West last night, Fresno State, UNLV. I'll go down that rabbit hole since we're here. This game is between 2 teams who were have 10 wins on the year, under 500. We're playing one another. And it was a wild game. It was about a 3-hour game over about 75 plus free throws altogether. It comes down to the buzzer beater, and it was an awesome game. You had to be there to see it. It was around 1 o'clock Central Time. You had to be there. Mountain West stand up. You had to be there to witness it. I see in the chat here, this is one of the biggest regular season upsets of all time. And there it is. It's gone final. Portland knocks off Gonzaga 87-80. A giant in college basketball has gone down tonight. You know, Oklahoma State beating BYU. Okay, Oklahoma State has 16 wins this year. They are a solid basketball program. Oklahoma State has been able to build a resume, and they are going to be on the bubble, maybe in the tournament. Conference game, too. My ad. Okay, Illinois handles business. Houston handles business. Minnesota, I think they're a better team than the record shows. They're 11-12. They've lost so many close games. They had a 7-game skid. A lot of those games, something just didn't roll their way. They had that Nebraska game. They were up and then just kind of faltered. Now, you have probably the upset of college basketball so far this year. Usually, sometimes at the beginning of the year, there is a mid-major who upsets a ranked team from time to time. But now Gonzaga just lost their first West Coast Conference game of the year to the Portland Pilots. Let's go down Portland's schedule while we're here. Portland 10-14, about to be 11-14. They are 11-14. They're going to beat Gonzaga by 7. And they did. They one of the biggest upsets. 8147 says this may be one of the biggest regular season upsets of all time. Yeah, because Gonzaga, there was years in like the 2000s where Gonzaga was touchable. Even in the early 2010s, they were touchable and they were, lower seeds in the tournament. The last 10 years, Gonzaga has been a staple top 3 seed in March Madness every year. And it felt like once you got in the conference play, they would dominate from start to finish. There were some teams that were, so like I mentioned, St. Mary's, Santa Clara, San Francisco. Those were the teams that were able to give them fits. But you have Gonzaga losing to Portland. Since we're on the topic of college basketball, let's look at the Portland schedule. Look at some of the teams they've played this year. I have the schedule pulled up here. Obviously, another West Coast Conference team. This is pretty big news. Portland coming into today had lost 3 consecutive games. They lost to St. Mary's, Pacific, and so before they play Gonzaga, you look at this. And A147 points it out. This is likely the last matchup between these two schools because Gonzaga's leaving the West Coast Conference. And it just makes it even more because now Portland's going to have bragging rights over Gonzaga. Hey, we beat you guys at our own place, and we're able to send you guys out on a loss in Portland, who is not a basketball school, and Gonzaga is a pure basketball school, and being able to beat them. We're going to look at Portland's schedule here while we're here. Portland Pilots, shout out the Pilots. They got a unique mascot. I got to give them that. Some brownie points from myself. I would say Pilots is an awesome team name. It's different. In college basketball, you see a lot of Huskies, see a lot of Wildcats, a lot of Bulldogs. Pilots is awesome. So beginning of the year, they played some bye games, Arkansas Pine Bluff, UC Davis. They lost to Wyoming, lost to Northern Colorado, lost to St. Thomas, Minnesota, lost to Stanford. They had a very cold stretch in here in the season. They played Lewis and Clark. That was one of the teams they beat. They didn't play the toughest schedule, is what I'm getting at here. So most of their wins, Long Beach State, Cal State Fullerton, Kent State. They had a stretch of losing to Oregon, Santa Barbara, Washington State, Santa Clara, St. Mary's, and San Francisco. Some of those teams I mentioned that have given Gonzaga fits. And these games were not really close. They had San Francisco by 5. They got blown out by St. Mary's, beat by 7 by Santa Clara, lost by 5 to Washington State, who is in the West Coast Conference. Washington State and Oregon are appearing in that conference now. Crazy enough. But after all those losses, the string of losses, they beat Pacific and beat Oregon State, lost to Pepperdine, beat Loyola Marymount. So coming into tonight, the Pilots of Portland got beat by 6 against St. Mary's. That was their last home game before tonight. They got blown out against Pacific 74-51, a team that they beat a couple weeks ago. So 51 points, losing 74-51 to Pacific. After that game, they lost 104-74 to Washington State on the road. They lost I'll say it again. They lost 104-74 on the road against Washington. They're coming off 2 blowout losses after a close loss to St. Mary's, blown out by Pacific, blown out by Washington State. And now tonight, they beat number 6 Gonzaga at home in one of the biggest upsets in the college basketball season you will see this year. Gonzaga falls to 22-2, 10-1 in West Coast Conference play. Portland Pilots 11-14, 4-8 in West Coast Conference play. Wow. Reading that score is nuts. 87-80 in favor of the Pilots of Portland. So, quick little trivia here. If you look at the schedule for Gonzaga, there's only 2 teams who have beaten the Zags this year. Gonzaga, if you look at the schedule, like people will give them a lot of slack for being in the conference they are in because of, they don't play anybody. Well, they have St. Mary's. That's the one team they kind of are ranked usually and play them close. Gonzaga backs it up with their non-conference schedule. Here's a couple of teams that Gonzaga has wins over this year. Oklahoma, Creighton, Alabama, Kentucky, UCLA. Those are some solid teams that are going to be dancing in March. A couple other ones. I mean, they played Arizona State. Played Oregon at the time. Oregon played them close. But the 2 teams, there are only 2 teams in college basketball this year who have beaten the Gonzaga Bulldogs, which was Michigan, 101-61, when Michigan absolutely dominated them by 40 points way back in November. And then tonight, the Portland Pilots with an 87-80 win over the Zags. GBR captain Chet, upset Wednesday. Yes, it is upset Wednesday in college basketball. That's what makes college basketball so special. You have anybody can beat anybody on any given day. Portland coming in tonight, I'm assuming they were not favored by much, being what has happened to them the past week in Pacific and Washington State getting blown out in both those games. And you have a under 500 record in conference play and overall. And you go in and beat probably a team that a lot of people are going to have in the Final Four if the brackets came out today. Team that's on the brink of being a 1 seed. So Portland Pilots, 87-80. You have that one. Oklahoma State upsetting number 16 BYU, 99-92. And then you have Minnesota, 11-2 Minnesota, 11-12 Minnesota now beating number 10 Michigan State. So number 10, 16-6 go down. If you're a Nebraska fan, you have some rooting interest to help Nebraska get a 2 seed. This is a dream scenario in early February. You have Gonzaga with a Portland loss, because that loss will hold unless Gonzaga can somehow run the table. Maybe. I don't think that holds them out, though. They're going to have to fall again. And Gonzaga has several opportunities where that could happen. Oregon State, Washington State, Santa Clara, San Francisco, Pacific, Portland again. That Portland matchup on February 25th. Mark your calendars, folks. February 25th. And then St. Mary's to close out regular season play before the West Coast Conference tournament begins. So if you're a Nebraska fan, you were cheering for Portland and you were cheering for Minnesota tonight, and you got both those boxes checked. And you also got a BYU on top of it if BYU ends up going on some kind of run, because there's a lot of opportunity still left for BYU. Boxes are being checked. There's still a lot more games to be played. There's still weeks of games to be played. There's still conference tournaments to be played. But yeah, if you're a Nebraska fan, the rooting interest to see Gonzaga go down, to see Michigan State go down, see BYU go down, you wanted to see it. Still a lot of good teams up there. Iowa State, Michigan, Kansas is peaking right now. There's still a lot of dominoes that need to fall to help Nebraska get the 2 seed. Nebraska is obviously in line and that kind of brink 2 seed mark. But like I said, there's a lot of games to be played. And like college basketball, you just can't chalk up a win. And thank you for in the chat here. Portland was a 22.5-point underdog. Kind of crazy. You can't chalk up a win in college basketball. Any given night, anything can happen. And we saw upset Wednesday tonight. Crazy. This was not what I wanted to get into in this first segment. I was going to talk a little about Nebraska football, but that is what Late Night Lincoln is. And we went down the rabbit hole of college basketball. The slate tonight, that seems like it was as advertised. You get upsets, you have close games, you have anything that could happen. The impossible happens. Portland beating Gonzaga. Crazy times. I'm wondering real quick, I'm going to go to break. I will look it up. When was the last time Portland beat Gonzaga in basketball? I am very curious now, because it feels like Gonzaga, the only time I would hear about them in the regular season when they're playing St. Mary's, Santa Clara, or San Francisco, as said earlier. When was the last time the Portland Pilots beat the Gonzaga Bulldogs? I will find that real quick. We'll carry that into the next segment. Next segment, we'll talk a little bit about the Huskers. We'll talk about Husker football. We'll talk about Husker softball beginning this week in a couple days. They have a very stacked schedule on the horizon, and we'll just go off what the chat wants. But yes, 402-464-5685. You know the last time the Portland Pilots beat the Gonzaga Bulldogs. I would greatly appreciate it. I will also be doing my homework during the break. You're listening to 93.7 The Ticket, Late Night in Lincoln.
If you're seeking a career with a growing company, Gaina Trucking and Excavating is hiring and looking for additions to their team. Gaina Trucking has a strong team culture, competitive pay, 401ks, and benefits like health, dental, and vision. Drivers are guaranteed 40 hours per week, even in the winter months, and are home every night. Start your career today at Gaina Trucking and Excavating. Apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
Want to make the easy call? Call John Henry's. From leaky pipes to a broken AC, flickering lights to furnace fights, even drains and duct cleaning, we've got it handled. Plumbing, heating, air, and electrical, all under one trusted roof. Proudly serving homes across Lincoln, Omaha, and surrounding areas, and ready 24/7. Visit calljh.com or call
John Henry's. 435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing, Heating and Air,
and Electrical.
Big value and big flavor meet at Wings and Rings, thanks to the all-new delicious Duo Combo. This is the one you've been waiting for. Get one half-sized appetizer and 2 entrees with a side for only $19.99. Bring a friend for the best deal in town on any day of the week, during game time, or whenever the heck you want. Their made-to-order wings and chicken sandwiches are waiting for you at their 68th and O and 40th and Old Cheney locations. Stop by Wings and Rings and celebrate every day with the best meal deal in town.
Let's fly. Your next trip starts at Lincoln Airport with American Airlines. Now flying nonstop service to Dallas, Fort Worth, and Chicago. American Airlines connects Lincoln to major hubs and destinations around the globe. Wherever you're headed, LNK gets you there with new nonstop flights on American Airlines.
Now boarding.
Convenient, fast, and stress-free. Book your next flight at LincolnAirport.com. LNK, make flying easy.
Are you tired of living in pain? At Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery, they make it simple. From head to toe, spine to extremities, they've got you covered. Their multi-specialty team of experts in orthopedic surgery, plastic surgery, podiatry, physical therapy, and occupational therapy all work under one roof to get you back to living life pain-free. Don't wait another day. Visit prairie-ortho.com today or call them at 402-489-4700. Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery, where healing begins.
If you or anyone you care about is facing a family legal matter, call Cordell and Cordell today at 1-855-GET-LEGAL or visit CordellCordell.com to schedule your consultation.
There's a lot on the line in divorce. This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell, the largest family law firm in the country, with over 35 years of helping clients navigate divorce. But being big doesn't mean less personal or less local. Our attorneys live and work in your community, and as neighbors, they understand the challenges your families face. Divorce touches all areas of your life: your home, savings, retirement, and of course, kids. So when you find yourself facing divorce, you need a partner you can count on. Visit CordellCordell.com to schedule your consultation.
If you or anyone you care about is facing divorce, contact Cordell and Cordell today. With over 100,000 clients served, we understand the challenges you're facing on a personal level. Call Cordell and Cordell today at 1-855-GET-LEGAL. That's 1-855-GET-LEGAL. 1221 N Street, Lincoln.
Winter is just around the corner. Is your vehicle ready? Don't get left out in the cold. At A1 Automotive, we prep your car for whatever winter throws your way here in Nebraska. For battery checks, to brake inspections, tires, heaters, whatever your car needs to keep you and your family safe on the road, we've got you covered. A1 Automotive, always honest answers.
Bagels and Joe is the best place to start off your mornings, and you can order your breakfast ahead of time on their app. February's cream cheese flavor is white chocolate raspberry. Pair it with a strawberry cold foam. Stop by any of their 4 locations in Lincoln and their location in Seward. Bagels and Joe.
Just got new tires put on my car today. You did? I didn't see you leave the office. I didn't need to. Graham Tire picked up my car this morning and dropped it back off and they were done.
You're kidding. How'd you get that kind of service?
That's just what they do at Graham Tire.
Schedule your service online on the Pickup and Delivery tab at GrahamTireLincoln.com. That's GrahamTireLincoln.com. Let us do the running. Some limitations apply. See store for details.
At Parkview Animal Hospital in Lincoln, it's not just their professional care that sets them apart, but their warm staff and state-of-the-art facilities. Whether it's for a routine checkup or a comprehensive medical procedure, at Parkview, your pet isn't just another number, but a valued member of their caring family. Visit them at PAHLincoln.com today and in person just south of 14th and Pine Lake Road. Parkview Animal Hospital, your pet, their passion for happier, healthier, furry friends.
At DWE Generations, having a plan matters, especially when it comes to protecting what's most important. They work with individuals, families, and business owners to help make smart financial decisions that support life today and set the foundation for generations. David Darlington, Russell Walton, and Cody Eiler bring decades of experience, and their dedicated team provides follow-through, answering questions, explaining next steps, and staying connected as life evolves. DWE Generations, a generational wealth planning firm. DWE Generations is a marketing name for individuals doing business as representatives of Northwestern Mutual. Visit generations.nm.com or call 402-483-7871 and ask for David, Russell, or Cody.
Back to Late Night in Lincoln live on 93.7 The Ticket. Here is your host, Nick Whyman.
Welcome back, Late Night in Lincoln, Nick Whyman. Portland Pilots, stand up, Portland Pilot fans. Probably the biggest win in a long time for the Pilots as Portland knocks off Gonzaga 87-80 tonight in college basketball, shaking the college basketball world. One of the biggest upsets you will see in the entire season, not just tonight. There were some upsets, Minnesota. So during that break, I mentioned how I was going to do some research, quick little Google search. Portland Pilots basketball. When was the last time that Portland defeated the Zags? as they've been in the same conference for some time, and Gonzaga has been a basketball school for a long time, and Portland's kind of just been there for the ride. Dating back to 2002 was their first meeting they played. Gonzaga beat them 102-67. Okay. The last time Portland defeated Gonzaga was January 9th, 2014. During the 2013-2014 season, Portland got the win at home, 82-73 over Gonzaga. While we're here, let's see who was on this Gonzaga team. David Stockton was on this team. Karnowski, big man. Those are some players on that team. I'm looking at the names on the Portland roster. I don't recognize him. Presley led Portland in points that game in 2014 with 16 in that 82-73 win over Gonzaga. That was the last time Portland defeated Gonzaga. If you're just joining us here, Late Night Lincoln, Nick Whyman with you for another half hour. Portland just upset number 6 Gonzaga in college basketball. One of the biggest upsets you will see across the college basketball landscape this season. First time since 2014 that the Pilots have beaten the Zags. But if you look at history, coming into tonight, I say 2014, that is a very long time, is over 12 years ago. Coming into tonight, Portland had lost the last 20 meetings in a row. 20 in a row. And that one win was their one home win against Gonzaga all time. And they've played 40 of these 44 games. In the conference. They've played some of these games in conference play. The Zags get it, have basically dominated the series. Coming into tonight, Portland was 2-43 all time against Gonzaga. Portland 3-43 now and have the series streak rematch later in February. But the Zags go down. Portland, we've talked about this topic enough. We're going to move on now. But hey, Portland Pilots, I didn't see the game, but hopefully they storm the court, deservingly so, beating a conference foe the first time in over 12 years, ending a 20-game skid against Gonzaga. Portland, I did not plan on spending 30-some minutes on the Pilots of Portland tonight, but here we are. Yeah, everyone in the chat here saying, "Wow, I was this year. I was this old." GBR captain, that is wild. Yes, it is very wild. I didn't realize it was that bad. Maybe they got to pick them off sometime. But yeah, Gonzaga goes down. We're going to try to squeeze a lot into this next couple of minutes. And the big news of the day, Nebraska safeties coach leaves the staff after a short stint in Lincoln, a very short stint. So a very busy day considering it was beginning of February, signing day happening and everything. The big news today, safeties coach Miles Taylor, who was officially named to that position back in mid-January on January 16th. And, since then, it was like, okay, this guy is going to be the safeties coach. Okay. Hired for this position. January 16th. However, he's already leaving. Just 19, 20 days later. Less than 3 weeks later. He'll be joining the staff with Jesse Minter's staff in Baltimore. This is one of the it's a bizarre situation because usually when guys take a head coaching job and they're kind of just locked in to, I'm moving here. This is where I'm going to. This is where I'm going to settle my year for the offseason and get ready for the college football season. No, a bizarre situation where the hiring process kind of surrounded the football program. So Nebraska safeties coach Miles Taylor, who was hired in January, is leaving Nebraska after about a couple weeks to rejoin Jesse Minter with the Baltimore Ravens. So he'll be with the Baltimore Ravens next year as a coach. So that is a very interesting news. Before making the jump to the NFL, Taylor, most recently in collegiate, he was with South Dakota, where he spent time with current defensive coordinator, Rob Orich, and he was a part of his staff in South Dakota at the FCS level. So that is where Taylor's heading. Taylor came to Lincoln. He most recently was with the Los Angeles Chargers, where he was he worked under Jesse Minter, which makes sense. And he was on John Harbaugh's team there with the Chargers franchise. And now Jesse Minter gets his own head coaching gig in Baltimore, and now he's hiring guys that are on his radar and in his coaching philosophy and bringing him in to serve the position. I just find it very strange that he took the job and then he's gone. It's very interesting, very strange. Nebraska coaching has been a hot topic over the last week. You have that, and then you have Josh Martin going to go coach high school football at a very prestigious high school, I would say, because Jason Witt was coaching there before in Texas. Mike Eckler situation, we all talked about that for a long time. We all knew about that one. That one was interesting in its own case. And now you have co-special teams coordinators with Brett Maher and Nick Humphrey coming in. There's a lot. There's a lot of moving pieces and a lot of going on. And I hope it just kind of adjusts itself and kind of just calms itself down, because it feels like this guy's leaving, this guy's doing this, there's rumblings of this guy doing that. And it's just been kind of, the Mike Eckler one especially was just kind of, it was just a waiting process. This was going to happen, and it ended up happening. But that is the news around the coaching for Nebraska. Obviously, the Brett Maher coming back, former kicker and special teamer with the Huskers, now back as a special teams coordinator, replacing Mike Eckler. And Maher was played in the NFL, played with the Jets, played with the Cowboys, played in the CFL for a little bit. So he's been around. A very interesting topic. But we're moving on. That's all we got for Husker football. A lot of turnover. As GBR captain here rocking in the chat, I appreciate you. Too much turnover. There's just a lot of coaching turnover going on, a lot of moving parts. And it's only February. We just started the month of February on Sunday, and there's been a lot going on in the coaching realm of the Huskers coaching staff. You know what else is going on this weekend? Nebraska softball is beginning their season. Talked a little about the other night. Nebraska softball is a very fun sport to watch. I still believe it is one of the most underappreciated sports out there. It's very fun. It's very fast paced. I like the chants from the dugouts. The vibes always are high. The Women's College World Series, it is a bucket list item to go to a game in Oklahoma City. It looks like a very fun atmosphere. They've been setting attendance records with a lot of the teams there. And Nebraska starting the season, preseason ranked number 10. Nebraska ranked inside the top 10 to start the 2026 campaign. And they're already hitting the ground running. You think like non-con schedule or, some of the tournaments they attend, you think you don't really know who you run into. Nebraska has opportunities galore right off the bat. No pun intended. They have Washington, who has been solid in the past couple of years. They're playing them, a conference team right off the bat this Friday. They're heading down to San Antonio for the UTSA Invitational at Roadrunner Field. They have a busy week. Like, you think like baseball, maybe they only play one game a day. No, they're playing multiple games a day. So you can get your softball flicks on here, and you can watch a lot of softball. You can watch 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Husker softball games in a span of 72 hours. That's a lot. And there's some really good games going on. Right off the bat, you get to see really good players, some of the best players in the country go at it. There's 2 games on that in those 5 games that are going to be the ones that Nebraska fans circle as the marquee games. So start off the season, 1 o'clock on Friday, which is not very far from now. They were playing at 1 o'clock against Washington. The Huskies down at UT, and they're playing a UTSA neutral site game for that one. Conference game right off the bat. Interesting that you start off with a conference game. That's how the cookie crumbles, how the schedule falls. You get that kind of game right off the bat. Later that day, you get a little bit of break after that game ends. Prime time, 6 o'clock Eastern time, 6 o'clock Central time, excuse me. Number 10 Nebraska plays number 1 Texas. Preseason number 1 Texas, number 10 Nebraska Cornhuskers in softball. Friday, February 6th in San Antonio, Texas. I'm assuming a lot of Husker softball fans are going to make the trip down there. Nice weather in Texas. I'm assuming the weather will be nice. I haven't checked the forecast for down in San Antonio, but I'm assuming it's pretty solid. And then Texas, who is going to have a nice little traveling fan base, an old Big 12 showdown. Nebraska, Texas, Friday night. Day 1 of the college softball season. You get a top 10 matchup. That's awesome to see. You get that kind of a matchup there. And you're going to see some of the best players. Also, they'll play Texas again on Saturday at 3:30 down in San Antonio. You get that same matchup. You get a rematch between Nebraska and Texas. So you get a 2-game set with Nebraska and Texas in a span of 2 days. And that leads you into your weekend, Friday, Saturday, that game. And then Saturday night, Nebraska plays the host in UTSA. They'll play them on Saturday as well. And then Sunday, they'll play Washington one more time to close out the UTSA Invitational. So Nebraska, Texas, it's a stacked weekend again. I mentioned, we'll preview it again tomorrow, the weekend ahead for Nebraska sports. Obviously, basketball on Saturday. Gymnastics has some meets. Tennis is in action. Obviously, softball kicks off their season. And they have a top 10 matchup twice against Texas, playing Texas twice down in San Antonio. And then next weekend, they have another tournament. They're playing a lot of SEC schools, LSU, Georgia, Tennessee. You have a chance to watch a lot of those. Those games are going to be on television. Be able to watch a couple of those. Texas Tech, the defending Women's College World Series champions, on next Sunday. Not this Sunday, but next Sunday. A lot of really good games on the horizon. And come to mention Nebraska Wrestling. Nebraska Wrestling will be on Sunday as well. Right before your Super Bowl. If you want to watch before the Super Bowl, Nebraska Wrestling, Senior Day, 1 o'clock, based in the Northwestern Wildcats. Caleb Smith and Ridge Lovett were in here on Monday and talked about what Senior Day meant to them. It's a very big occasion for them. Last time at home before the schedule, you had a little bit of road trip, and then the postseason comes up. Nebraska Wrestling coming up. 1 o'clock. If you don't want to watch 5 hours of pregame coverage of the Super Bowl, you can go down to wrestling and go watch a couple hours of Nebraska Wrestling. Try to get back in the win column. They've had some tough duels, Penn State, Ohio State, Iowa, since that Minnesota win. But there's a lot to go on, a lot of stuff going on in Husker Nation. We'll be right back. We're going to take a break, and we'll wrap up the show here for this Wednesday. About said, my days are thrown off. Around 11 o'clock every day kind of feel at least the same. I'm sitting here guiding you through, being your tour guide into the evening. We'll send you into your Thursday with a couple of the notes going around the sports world. But Nick Whyman here. We'll be right back here on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Let's fly. Your next trip starts at Lincoln Airport with American Airlines. Now flying nonstop service to Dallas, Fort Worth, and Chicago. American Airlines connects Lincoln to major hubs and destinations around the globe. Wherever you're headed, LNK gets you there with new nonstop flights on American Airlines.
Now boarding.
Convenient, fast, and stress-free. Book your next flight at LincolnAirport.com. LNK, make flying easy.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait. Apply now.
Hi, I'm Scott Miller, Business Development Officer at Midwest Bank's Lincoln branches. As a lifelong Lincolnite with over 30 years of experience in financial management, I'm here to help your business grow and succeed. My focus is building strong relationships with businesses and clients across Lincoln. Because at Midwest Bank, we believe banking is about people, not just numbers. Visit us at midwest.bank or stop by one of our Lincoln locations. Your community, your bank. Midwest Bank. Member FDIC.
Rico here with HIS Auto Care at 70th and Van Dorn, letting you know HIS is a great place to bring your vehicle for service. With superior service bumper to bumper, we'll treat your vehicle like it's your mother's. Doesn't get any better than that. So call 402-488-8934 and HIS Auto will make you glad you did. 5% off, mention this ad, and for sure your mother will be proud you called. 402-488-8934, HIS Auto Care, 70th and Van Dorn. God bless you.
Tune in to Outside the Box from 4 to 5 p.m. for everything you need to know about the Lincoln Stars. Join head coach Rocky Russo and play-by-play voice Alex Fern as they sit down with special player guests to tell the story of the Lincoln Stars and give you all the news and notes you need from around the USHL. That's Outside the Box with the Lincoln Stars on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
At Jimmy John's, we don't make sandwiches. We make the sandwich of sandwiches. We use fresh veggies because we don't hate salads. We just feel bad for them. We make our sandwiches exactly how you want because you're the one who's eating it. And we bake bread all day, every day because stale bread isn't bread. It's croutons. Sandwich history is written by the victors. Good thing we have legible handwriting. Jimmy John's, the sandwich of sandwiches. Order pickup or delivery on the app.
Are you tired of living in pain? At Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery, they make it simple. From head to toe, spine to extremities, they've got you covered. Their multi-specialty team of experts in orthopedic surgery, plastic surgery, podiatry, physical therapy, and occupational therapy all work under one roof to get you back to living life pain-free. Don't wait another day. Visit prairie-ortho.com today or call them at 402-489-4700. Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery, where healing begins.
Mike, I've been thinking our house could really use a makeover. How about new siding?
I've been thinking the same thing. Have you heard of James Hardy?
Yes! Sarah down the street had Roofing Service Company install James Hardy siding on their home, and they love it.
Roofing Service Company does have great reviews.
They took her through the design process and made everything super easy.
Roofing Service Company offers expert design and installation. Couple that with James Hardy's durable products and variety of colors, you and your family will love your exterior remodel. Just visit roofingservicecompany.com. That's roofingservicecompany.com.
If you're seeking a career with a growing company, Gaina Trucking and Excavating is hiring and looking for additions to their team. Gaina Trucking has a strong team culture, competitive pay, 401ks, and benefits like health, dental, and vision. Drivers are guaranteed 40 hours per week, even in the winter months, and are home every night. Start your career today at Gaina Trucking and Excavating. Apply today at gainatrucking.com.
Back to Late Night in Lincoln live on 93.7 The Ticket. Here is your host, Nick Whyman.
And we're back here on 93.7 The Ticket on theticketfm.com. Nick Whyman with you. One more segment before you send you into your Thursday morning. Wrap up your Wednesday evening here on February 4th, 2026. Lot to talk about. We talked about the NBA trades. I'm keeping my phone near me because we saw the Kristaps Porzingis going to the Warriors happened. Mid-conversation, we kind of spoke into existence as me and Harrison were talking about some of the other trades that happened today. There was a lot going on in the NBA world. Tomorrow will be a big day. So if you are listening to 90.7 The Ticket, expect a lot of chatter around the NBA trade deadline, as that will be a hot topic across the sports world. Elsewhere, to wrap up this quick segment here, the Olympics started today, a competition that started today. However, not with some interesting nuggets that happened throughout the Olympics. First off, they did have competitions. They started mixed curling, some luge practice. However, officials paused matches in the curling due to lights dimmed and flickering. And the main lights in the gym, in the heat, all went out during the first competitions that delayed competition. Not the best start for the Winter Olympics there. Not only that, but luge training got briefly because of that as well. So there's only where to go but up for the Winter Olympics is what I would say. You don't want to see delays like that. Hopefully they have no more things like that happen going the rest of the way for the Winter Olympics. And everything just runs slightly. Opening ceremonies on Friday. Competition is starting around 3 o'clock. You got some skiing and stuff like that starting. Some more mixed curling starting at 3 o'clock in the morning here in about little under 3 hours. So if you're a night owl like me, there are live sports going on. You just got to find them. And that'll be the Olympics kicking into high gear tomorrow. Opening ceremonies Friday. Some hockey. Hockey starting up. Some women's preliminary round hockey starting tomorrow. USA in action. Playing their first preliminary round game. So yeah, a lot we talked about. Talked about Nebraska sports in general, NBA trade deadline, the Winter Olympics starting out on the wrong foot with the lighting issues, and how about them Portland Pilots beating Gonzaga? Heck of a night to be a pilot of Portland. We'll see you tomorrow. Thanks for rocking me on this Wednesday. Early break starting 6 o'clock here. We'll have plenty of content for you here on 90.7 The Ticket. Have a good night or have a good morning.
At DW